Okay, yes, we pass on ugly watches. Pass on ugly watches. There's a couple of good-looking watches on that page. Notice the Yachtmaster down towards the middle and the bottom. That is a stunner. So there's a couple of stunners, but a lot of ugly ones on that page. And so to that end, we have created the most exclusive, the most exclusive Facebook group ever to exist. And it is called Only Stunning Watches, recently created. And it has 6 members. It's extremely exclusive, And posted therein are only stunners. And here's one that Der Stiefel posted that is an absolute stunner. And you can see here he posted these 3 earlier, date, and of course a Grand Seiko diver and another Grand Seiko. And so, yeah, and so there's the 002, the watch that yours truly is wearing right now. And so that's it. That's Only Stunning Watches on Facebook. That is the most exclusive watch group on Facebook, the most exclusive watch group on Facebook, and the only watch group that will not share and feature photos of ugly watches. Only stunners, only stunning watches, only stunning watches is the title of the group. And that's all you'll find there. And it is the most exclusive Facebook group on the planet. And Durr's in the house and he says, we are live. Absolutely, we're live. And we're talking about the new group. And so we're going to keep it extremely exclusive. I haven't told anybody else about the group except for Durr. I invited him. There's a couple of maybe 2 or 3 people that I invited to be members of the group, and their names will be confidential. Everything will be kept confidential. And so it might even top out. The group might even top out at like 10 members. I mean, it's going to be extremely exclusive, an extremely exclusive group as far as the people that can actually post in there. I think anybody can view it. I think I set it up so anybody can view it. They can partake, but they have to be, let's see, we should change the group from public to private though. Oh, okay. So, so you don't think that we should allow just anybody to view it? See, I thought that we should allow anybody to view it, but just not be able to participate. But you think they shouldn't even be able to view it. Only the exclusive people should see what's going on. Okay, that's food for thought. We'll have to discuss that and see. I'm all new to this group administrating this whole group thing. I'm new to this anyway. So yeah, we'll have to we'll have to see. So that would make it even more exclusive, I guess, is what they're saying. Changes to public group membership. People can join right away, but you control who can post. So I guess I could change that. Well, I suppose I need a Grand Seiko ASAP to or my spot is one of the special. No, Rolex Date 8 would do it. There's a lot of stunning watches out there that are not Grand Seikos, but they have to be stunning. They have to be a stunner. James Scott in the house. Let's put up a couple of these comments. And so, yeah, so let's see about this, making it private. Let me switch over here. Membership. So I'm not sure how I do this. I'm probably going to have to do it offline because I'm not sure. I'm not hip. I'm not hip on how to do this. Okay, if I go over here, go to settings, privacy, public. Okay, here I can change this to private. Okay, private, save. Okay. This group will become private. Only members will be able to see who's in the group and what they post. This change will happen in 3 days. This will be permanent. Okay. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. But it's going to take 3 days. Well, that's interesting. Why that would take 3 days. Okay, so it's now going to be private, but the group is visible. It says here hide group, visible. Only members can find this group. Public. I think, I think it should be visible though, but private, right? Because otherwise, how would anybody even apply to join the club? It'd be so exclusive. We can make it invisible. We can make it really, really exclusive. Private group for the elite. Absolutely. Well, okay, we already showed that one. Okay. So Durstiefel says, if Jeff Bezos is lucky enough, maybe he can join too. Maybe he can, yeah, if he can pony up some of those billions. Corey's in the house. Why is a Japanese garbage being posted in that group? Should be fine watches like Rolex and Patek. Well, pretty soon you won't even be able to see it, Corey. Okay, so visible but private. Okay, so Durr says it should be visible but private. Okay, now that means though that they can't see the posts or anything, right? They can just see that the thing exists. But it's sort of like having a limousine with darkened glass, right? They can see the limousine, but they can't see inside. Is that the idea? Yeah, this is going to be extremely exclusive, this group. And so, yeah, I posted a picture of a day date in there, and Durr posted a picture of a day date. He also posted a picture of that stunning Omega. Omega. Let me see if I can get back to this. There's the diver on the bench today. Okay, so here's the watch that he posted earlier, the Omega. The Omega, the James Bond quartz Omega. Yeah, I think that qualifies as a stunner. I love the case design on those. They're a little more trim than some of the other newer ones. It's got the deployant clasp. Yeah, I think that qualifies as a stunner. Stunner alert on the channel. Triforce Rich is in the house. Will people be banned for posting 229s instead of 231s? No, Durr posted his 229. It's a stunning watch. I mean, the 229 is a stunner. It's just a little bit heavier than the 231. I mean, I would go for the 231. That's what I did go for. But you know, the 229 is also a good piece. And here's the thing: they can't post it. It has to be approved anyway. So nobody's going to be banned for posting an ugly watch because no ugly watch is ever going to be posted. It's never going to show up. So they can try all they want to post if they become a member. First of all, it's very difficult to become a member. It's extremely exclusive group. But if a member is on a drunken binge or something and decides to post an ugly watch, it's just never going to appear, right? And if they do that repeatedly, then yes, they might lose their membership. 229 is just like I like my ladies, heavy and solid, heavy and solid. Absolutely. That's right. There's something to be said for that. Dur, do you wear that watch very often? Do tell. Let us know. Do you wear it? And I would recommend you wear the Date 8. Life is too short. That's another thing I wanted to talk about on this show is when you get up there in the years, like I am, you realize that life is very short. It's fleeting, folks. It is fleeting. And you ask any old person and they'll tell you the same thing. It goes by like that. What's that country song where the guy talks about don't blink, and like 10 years go by every time you blink? He's 100% correct. So life is too short to be wearing the ugly watches. Wear stunners. Wear something like this, right? Wear something like that and you'll be happy. You won't look back and have regrets when you're older, old and gray, like me. You won't look back and have regrets of all those days that you wore the ugly watches, right? When you could have been wearing something nice. You could have been wearing a stunner. And so that's why the group is dedicated to stunners. That's why it's only stunning watches on that group. And it's very exclusive, extremely exclusive, almost as exclusive as these live streams. I mean, these live streams, like right now, we've got 8 people watching. We've only got 6 members in the group, even less than are watching this stream. Uh-oh, we just dropped down to 7. I spoke too soon. So anyway, yeah, it's extremely exclusive. And so let me know, Dur, by the way, do you wear the 229 very often? Let me know. And when you wear your date 8, do you wear the faux pay? Do you wear the faux pay? And you missed our show yesterday talking about the signet rings. What's your thought on a signet ring to complement the date 8, an 18 karat yellow gold signet ring on your pinky finger to complement the date 8 and the faux pay? What do you think about that combo? Let us know in the chat what you think about that combo. And so, yeah, we've just had, we did start early today. And so that's probably why we don't have as many people in as we normally would have. But what we were having in some of the groups, and we talked about this yesterday, is we were having what you would call a failure to communicate. Okay. That's the issue that we were having. We were having a failure to communicate.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Yeah, so that's the situation. We had a failure to communicate. They didn't understand that they were buying ugly watches and that they were sharing ugly watches, and some of those watches were too big.
It's too big.
Yeah, and so, you don't want to wear a watch that's too big.
It's just too big.
Yeah. So we'll just pass on that. What you want is you want a watch that is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true.
Yeah, so that's what you want. You want one that's beautiful. When the young lady sees your watch, you want her to say this.
What? I mean, this is amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful. Wow, this is really pretty.
Yeah, so that's how she reacted after she saw my watch. She was just wandering around that beautiful yacht there and just talking about the watch. So, okay, let's catch up on the comments here. Durr says, the 229 is just like okay, we already read that one. Okay, here we go. 229 doesn't get as much of a rotation these days due to the heft. I want to stick it on a strap with a deployant for sure. I seem to be reaching for watches with straps more often lately. I'm with you. I'm digging this 002 on the deployant strap. It is super comfortable on wrist. There's just something about that leather on the wrist once it forms to your wrist that really feels nice. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like signet rings and own a couple myself. I wear my grandfather's gold 10 karat Spartan signet ring often. Cool. You should share a photo with us. Can you take a close up of that and send it? I would love to see it. And that you could post that in the stunning Facebook page. Accessories are allowed as long as they're stunning and they complement a stunner. Then absolutely. And good morning from New Zealand. I have a stunner, SLGA001, I think is now sold out and joined the show. Okay, so let's check that out. SLGA001. Hold on. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a big diver. Yeah, that's a beast. And absolutely, that is a stunner. That is a stunner of a tool watch, an absolute stunner of a tool watch. I agree. I agree with that one. Triforce in the house. Craig, you need to step up and film the video of you swimming with the 002 and playing tennis. Shut the there's wrong action, not talking. If I'm only going to do it if I sell the 231. I mean, I've got the 231. I'm going to wear it for heavy use when I have it, right? I mean, now if I didn't have it, yes, the 002 would be put at risk from time to time. Yes, it would be put at risk, and I would document it. I would absolutely document it, but I'm not going to do it unless I sell the 231. Did have one subscriber that was interested, and then I talked him out of it. I talked him out of it because I really didn't want to sell. So I persuaded him that he shouldn't do it. I'll make a post on the page when I get a chance for sure, says Durr. He's going to make it on the exclusive group. Bree, are you a member of the exclusive Facebook group? The new Facebook group? Only Stunning Watches. Are you a member, Bree Fit Dance? Because you own a stunning watch. So I wonder if you are a member. And she says hello, by the way. Okay, so so yeah, that's what. If you tuned in late, we're talking about the most exclusive watch group on Facebook. It's simply titled Only Stunning Watches. The URL is facebook.com/groups/stunning watches. It's an extremely exclusive group, and we only post photos of stunning, absolutely stunning watches. And Briefit Dan says, not yet. She's not a member yet. Well, when are you going to join? You better join because we might cut off membership fairly soon. This is going to be an extremely exclusive group. Extremely exclusive. Okay. with postings of watches that is curated. There will be a distinct absence of ugly watches, on the channel. So when people see the post, this is how they're going to react.
What? I mean, this is amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful. Wow, this is really pretty.
Yeah, see, that's how they're going to react when they see the posts. So on our channel, we're not going to have a failure.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
On our channel, we're going to be straightforward. It's going to be no ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to be nothing but stunning watches. There aren't going to be any watches that are too big. We're not going to have watches that are too big.
It's too big.
You know, there's no reason for that, okay? Life is too short to wear funky watches, okay? Funky watches that are too big, have integral bracelets, have too many complications, and are just silly looking. Not going to do it.
It's just too big.
Yeah. So that's the way the channel is going to work. That's the way that particular group is going to work, okay? So let me see what else we can. Oh, and by the way, accessories like that faux pay are allowed. Okay, so you can post. We talked about signet rings. Okay, if you want to post your signet rings. Anything that would go along with a stunner, anything that would accent a stunner is fair game, by the way. And so, yeah. And speaking of stunners, there's a stunner right there. All right, and let's get back to the comments here. Trevor says that no James Cameron allowed. I don't think we want any big, huge, bulky watches that make no sense. Now, if somebody is like an NFL linebacker or something, they've got like a huge arm and so on, and they send a picture and they've got some big watch like that on their wrist and it looks really good, then the admin will make a judgment call and will possibly allow it. Again, the group is all about watches that are worn and enjoyed, not box watches. We could care less about box watches. So if it's a watch that somebody wears and enjoys and it looks good on their wrist and it's a stunner, we will probably allow it. We'll probably allow it in the group. The group, as I said, is very exclusive group. Okay. And only members, we've made it private now. And I think they said it's going to take 3 days to convert it over to private. Only members are going to be able to see the posts anyway. So it's going to be very exclusive as to who can even see the posts, right? It's going to be extremely exclusive. Extremely exclusive group. It says Ultraman 1 red. There you go. Yeah, and he agrees. Somebody said so okay, Timekeeper 562 says it's not private. Yes, I changed it to private, but Facebook takes 3 days to change it to private. De Stifel recommended that, and I did do the change here live on the show, and thank you for the super chat, but it's going to take a couple days for that to actually happen. Now, in the meantime, all posts have to be approved. So there's no ugly watches are going to get slipped through, right? Any post has to be approved. And members need to be approved. So it's not like anything's going to slip in there in the meantime. But yes, it will be viewable, but it will be private. In other words, people will be able to see that it exists, but they won't be able to see anything in there. But Facebook said that could take 3 days for that to happen. I did it live on the show. But good catch, Timekeeper 562. And thank you for the contribution. We will put it to good use. Craig, I just sent an email with a little bit of yellow gold accessories for my jewelry box. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Good move. Just tuned in. Okay. Well, thank you, Timekeeper 562. By the way, you should join. You should join the exclusive group. It is the most exclusive watch group on Facebook. And the link is in the description. And De Stifel, points out that it was changed to private. Yeah, but it's going to take a little while for that change to take effect. I don't know why it takes that long. Just log into Facebook and sent to request. Okay, so he sent a request to join. Okay. And Kyle's in the house. Hopefully he will join too. Hopefully he will join because he has a couple of stunners that he could share. And I think he still has the 41 mil sub. We will allow the 41 mil sub. I don't know if we'll allow any super case subs, any full super case subs. They toned it down a little bit on the 41. And I believe it's the new Facebook group, Kyle. It's the new Facebook group. Only stunning watches, and it's going to be extremely exclusive, only stunning watches. And so that's what we're talking about. That's the topic du jour. Timekeeper 562, $4.99 super chat. Just joined, and I can't wait to show my 29 amazing pieces. Whoa, okay. But let's do one at a time. Let's not flood it with a whole bunch at the same time. And remember, the curators need to approve each posting, each piece. Let me see if I can get in here and see who is. I don't even know what I'm doing here on this admin. Activity log, is that going to show me anything? No. Participant requests. Pending posts. Nothing. There's nothing pending. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't see anything pending here. But I'll figure it out. I don't have a Facebook account. Never have. Says Kyle. Well, good. Thank goodness for that. You're a smart man. That was probably a good move. So there you go. And this is what Timekeeper said. Okay. All right. So I'll figure this out. I'll figure out this whole admin thing. And if I get somebody that's really trustworthy in there, I might make them an admin too. It's interesting. It just said members, 7 members joined, but it still says there's 6 members up at the top. So I don't know. Facebook is squirrely. No wonder Kyle doesn't have a lot of faith in them. Oh, now it's jumped. It says 9 members. So I guess people can join now without having to be approved, but I guess they just can't post anything without the post being approved. So, but pretty soon it's going to be private anyway. So I don't know what that means. Now, if it's private, does that mean that they have to ask to join? If it's a private group, that I would guess that would mean that, right? Educate me, folks. Educate me. I don't have a Facebook. Okay. Durr says, you're the 7th, Craig. Well, I just refreshed it. So I was one of the 6th. Ultraman Red says, okay, cool. All right. So I guess what we're saying is once it becomes private, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Once it becomes private, then when they go to join it, am I going to get like a notification that I have to approve for them to join it? Is that how it's going to work? Please tell me, because I'm not familiar with these groups. I'm not familiar with the whole group thing. So that would be nice to know. Let me see what else I can show here. Trying to see what is this? The Triforce Rich says, what does Ryan think of the 002? Oh, this was live on the show the other day when Ryan saw the 002 and he commented on how stunning it is. So see, this is proof that the 002, which is on wrist right now, is a stunner. So here, we'll play this one more time. Because the Triforce Rich says, what does Ryan think of the 002? Should he get a close look? He's talking about this watch. This is the SBGY 002 Grand Seiko. This is a Grand Seiko is a line that competes with Rolex. It's their high-end line. Steve at Little Treasury Jewelers is where this came from. He's over in Gambles, Maryland. He's a destination jeweler. And so they want you to take a look at the SBGY 002, and they want your opinion on it. See, this is a deployant class.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
It looks like a
So, and it fits kind of trimmed to the wrist. And then you notice that second hand. See how it doesn't click? It just smooths around.
Oh,
it's called the spring drive. There's no battery in there, but there's a spring in there that releases the energy and then drives the second hand like that. Okay,
it's beautiful.
So there you go. He said it's beautiful.
I like it. Nicely done.
Two thumbs up on the question from Triforce.
Yeah, it's a beautiful watch.
There you go. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm not making this stuff up, folks. Not making it up. Let's see. I'm not sure. Sorry. Okay. So nobody knows yet on that thing, that question. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out in a couple days. Once it's private, we'll find out what happens on that. So anyway, that was the purpose of today's broadcast, was to let you know that there's going to be an extremely exclusive private group, now converted to private. It'll take a couple days for that to happen, on Facebook. That's it. It is Only Stunning Watches is the title of the group. It will be discoverable, but it will be curated. There will not be any posts in there of ugly watches. You're not going to see any ugly watches. You're not going to see an offshore. You're not going to see a Nautilus. You're not going to see a lot of these questionable designs that a lot of people are buying and going ooh, ooh, gaga, goo, goo, gaga over. You probably won't even see any Daytonas. I don't know. I might let a Daytona in there occasionally, but the Daytona is totally overhyped. And back in the day, people didn't even like them. People didn't buy them. They sat in the ADs and people bought Datejust, Day-Dates, GMT Masters. You know, they didn't buy Daytonas. So, what is a borderline ugly watch? Well, hey, that's kind of what I was just talking about. The Daytona. It's not really what I would call an ugly watch, but it's a watch that there are better options. I'll put it that way, especially for the money that they go for. There are significantly better options, such as you could buy a gold Date 8, for gosh sakes. You could buy a yellow gold Date 8 for the price of a Daytona in steel. Now, come on. Come on now. Let's be reasonable here. Let's straighten up our thought processes. And thanks, Kyle. And there is not going to be there's not going to be any failure to communicate in that group. In that group, there will not be a failure to communicate.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
See, and that's what's happening in the other groups. In a lot of the other groups, there's a failure to communicate. Okay, so Durr says, I got my Daytona at retail. It should be allowed. Yes, that's right. If you post in there that you got the Daytona for retail, then, and it's a nice picture and it looks good on wrist. I think they're fairly trim on wrist. To be a chronograph, they're fairly trim on the wrist. So, yeah, I absolutely think that would be a good point. That would be a good point. Oh, excuse me. Oh boy. Triforce said, I didn't even know you had a Daytona. Durr's got pretty much everything. He's got pretty much everything. He doesn't admit to some of the ugly watches he has, but he even has some ugly watches too. But he doesn't admit to those here on the channel. I would take a Rolex Gold Blue sub over Daytona any day of the week. Smart man. Smart man. The Daytona wears small and is thin. Yeah. See, that's the big advantage of a Daytona is compared to a lot of chronograph watches, it's nice and trim. It's got a beautiful case. The case shape and design is beautiful. I'm just not a fan of paying like silly money for them. But if you got it from the AD for list, well done. Well done, I say. Would Chip Wrong's Rainbow Daytona Trio be allowed? If he applies for membership, remember, this is a very exclusive club. If he applies for membership and is approved, and if he puts in a post and the post is approved, then it will appear there. That's how this whole thing works, is you've got to put in a post. It's going to go into the queue. Our curators are going to evaluate it, and then it may appear. It may appear, but it's a very exclusive club, so it's not easy. And here's the thing. Somebody said, well, who are you to make these determinations that a watch is a stunner or not a stunner or whatever? Hey, guys, I just know, right? I was a professional appraiser for many years. I know quality when I see it. It's a curse in some ways, right? It's a curse because I can't even shop at Walmart. Everything they sell there is junk. I can't shop at most department stores. Everything they sell at most of them are junk. I mean, it is a real problem for me to go shopping anywhere and to look at things, and because I see the details, okay? And it's almost like a curse, but it just is a thing. I can tell. I can look at a watch and very quickly evaluate, is it a stunner or not? And so it's not hard. On this channel and in this group, we're not going to have a failure to communicate. We're going to be right on point and make these decisions. What about the root beer that Brett bought? I think so. I think that might qualify. I know good and well his Datejust, his solid gold Datejust qualifies. I know that qualifies for sure. Thank you for having this Facebook group, says Sean. Well, you are welcome. Are you going to join? Are you going to join the group? You can join it right now because it hasn't been converted to private yet. It's going to take a few days for that to happen. So I think you can join right now. Let me refresh the page and see how many members there are now. Yeah, so now it says there's 10 members. So we just picked up one member just like that. So yeah, very exclusive group. And at some point, we might close membership opportunity. We might close it down and not allow any new members. And I'm not gonna set a number right now, but bottom line is get a membership while you can. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it's a borderline. Okay. He bought it for his dad. His dad denied it. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, Sean is a personal friend. Oh, cool. Sean is a personal friend new to the channel and is a vintage Datejust man. Wow. Well, cool. My first watch was a 1978 Datejust, engine turn bezel with a Jubilee bracelet. And I think I got burned on the price. I paid $560 for it. I think that was like all the money back then in 1978. But anyway, I loved the watch. I wore it for a couple of years, and then I got the date a couple years later. Sold the Datejust and got the date. My first one was an 1803 with a conventional clasp. But my Datejust, believe it or not, the bracelet was made in these United States. Rolex did that for a while. They had the Jubilee bracelets made in the US for a while. Because I remember when the Swiss bracelets came out, you could tell because they had the flat part on the inside like they have now, how it's flat on the inside. It wasn't like that on mine. It was round all the way around, rounded. And so there was a distinct difference between the Swiss bracelet and the American-made bracelet. I'm in the group, I believe. Okay, cool. Very good. Craig sent a pic of my grandfather's. Oh, I got to check the email. Yeah, I've been neglecting the email. I got to check it. Sent a pic of my grandfather's World War II watch. Just got back from servicing. Oh, cool. Okay, we're going to take a look at that. Hold on. Oh, cool. Here's the Signet rings that Der Stiefel sent in. Really super cool. Oh, man, I'm impressed. And they look great with that faux pay. They look great with the faux pay. They really pick up the color of the faux pay nicely. They look better than that other bracelet in the foreground. That makes me want to get a Signet ring even more. So yeah, 2 thumbs up for that. So now let's check the other email. Oh, here's another Signet ring that was sent in from a viewer, and that one looks cool too. Looks very cool, and it's on the pinky. It's on the pinky. Yeah, traditional. That's the way to do it. And that was from Peter Parker, yes. And it was made by Dexter Rings in 18 karat gold a couple years ago. Sent them a drawing of what he wanted. Okay, and wow. No, I like it. He said he should have gone with a simpler design, but no, I like it. Let's show it again. I think it's cool. I like it. Okay. And here's this other piece that just came back from servicing. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Yeah, that's a cool piece. Now, is that plated gold or is that solid gold? I know the bracelet probably is plated, but let us know. Either way, I think it's kind of cool. I like the oldies but goodies like that. I kind of like it. Let's see. Remember, no idea Rolex was made in the USA. Just the bracelet, just that Jubilee bracelet that was on my Datejust, and some other bracelets were made in the USA, I believe. And some were made in Mexico also. So yeah, there's that. Sean just sent. See, a lot of these Rolex experts that think they're experts, they don't know because they didn't buy the damn things new back in the day. I bought them new back in the day. Okay, they weren't even born yet. Most of these so-called experts, so they don't know these things. They don't know these things. Okay, and Lance says hello, Craig, and all. And send an email with a photo of my signet ring for your consideration. Okay, good. I think that's the one we looked at. Lance is in the house. Lance needs a signet ring. Yes. What kind of watch is that, Kevin? Okay, maybe we can get some details on that. And it would be a cool item to have. Okay. Oh, a signet ring. Yeah. See, that might be the kind of thing, Lance, that you can pick up at a estate sale, because you're up there where all the money is, at an estate sale or even a pawn shop or something like that. You might be able to get a good deal on a nice signet ring. Things like that have limited market. You know what I mean? And so that's the ideal thing to pick up at like a pawn shop or something like that. Always dicker with them. Well, you know that. You know that. You got a great deal on your 18 karat gold stunner. If I had more time, oh, excuse me. Oh boy. That's what I would do. I'd hunt around and try to get a deal, but I think Steve's going to give me a good deal on one. I sent him an email with the specs of kind of what I wanted, and I haven't heard back from him yet. That's the problem with Steve, is he's really busy. So we'll see. Lance says, I've seen a few at flea markets, but they have someone's initials on them. Yeah. I wonder how thick they are. I wonder if you could have it polished down and redone. I guess it depends on how much thickness you have to work with. So yeah, if you see one at a flea market or something that has some really cool, like coat of arms or something on it, you know, that just looks really cool, then what the heck, go with it, right? But if it's just simply initials that don't happen to be yours, of course, you could say something like it came from like a distant relative or something. You could make up some story. I mean, most people aren't going to get close enough to read the initials anyway. If it's 18 karat yellow gold, if it's solid 18 karat gold and it's a good deal, I would just grab it. What the heck, call it a day. So there you go. I would like to get a signet ring with my family crest. Well, there you go. There you go. Craig, you should get a signet ring with CS done in the same fashion as a GS logo. That would be something to consider. That would be something to consider. I also considered having the Bitcoin logo and a wrench fashioned onto it to make something kind of custom for members of the inner circle to have for identification. Something really unique and special. So we'll see. It's a Gruen, has to be 80 years old and works well. That's this one here. Super cool. Super cool. I like it. And our Wags is in the house. I bet you that he probably has a signet ring, though. He's a businessman in the Midwest. One has to be careful about wearing too much jewelry. Signet ring, gold bracelet, and a gold watch may be too much in most parts of the Midwest, Mountain West. There you go. Yeah, it could be a thing. But if you're dressed nice and all, and you can, you have the bracelet kind of up under your cuff a little bit, just so it kind of peeks out from time to time. And I think the signet ring, I would be kind of surprised if anybody would care one way or the other about that, but maybe. But the good thing is, when you get to your station in life where you're financially independent, you really don't have to care as much about what the other people think anymore. We have to when we're still in our earning stages and building wealth and all that. You have to, you don't want to piss off a client or whatever, right? But at some point you get to the point where it's like, you just don't have to care. If you lose a client, it's like, c'est la vie, right? I'm fine. Move on. Nothing to see here. Kyle, I hope you remember the logo I did of Craig's name with the GS script a while back. Yes, I do remember. It was cool. I think 18 karat might be a little soft for signet ring and might have some problems with warping down the line. I don't think I would go any higher than 14K. Good point. Good point, Durr. But I will say, I'm wearing my 18 karat gold wedding ring right now. I mean, I push on it hard. I mean, it is solid. So 18 karat is stronger than people might think. I mean, and you could get a signet ring. It wouldn't necessarily have to be any thinner than this at the thinnest point. It wouldn't have to be any thinner than this, right? I'm pushing as hard as I can with my fingers. I mean, this is solid. So I'm not sure that would be a big problem. But 14 karat would be fine. I agree with you that 14 karat would be fine. A 14 karat yellow gold, it's almost indistinguishable from 18 karat. Steve said you could always go 18 karat, but I'm not so sure that that's a requirement. And somebody says, cool piece. Okay. All right. I guess we're caught up. We're only 5 minutes after the official starting time, but we've kind of covered the topic up one side and down the other. And again, the signet rings, the ones that I'm kind of gravitating towards as far as the style, I kind of like the style of these. And they look like they have a decent amount of heft to them, a decent amount of thickness, but not being, overly so. I think they look like a good compromise. So yeah, I think something like that. I've had some rings warp over time. I guess it all depends on the thickness. If going 18 karat, some thickness would definitely be better. Durr in the house. Yeah. Okay. And our wag says, true, Craig, more money than I need. That's called the land of critical mass. More than enough money. You work because you enjoy it. Yeah. I mean, you get to the point where, how should I say this? The likelihood of you running out of resources anytime is dropped way down. And you only get to that point, in my opinion, when you are spending significantly less than what your investments are throwing off. So, for example, let's say you can live on 25% of what your investments are generating. Then you're plowing 75% back in to the goose that's laying the golden eggs, right? And that way you can keep building and growing your wealth, and hopefully you're putting it in things where you're keeping ahead of inflation, right? Which can be a little tricky these days, but hopefully you're doing that so that you never have to kill that goose that's laying the golden eggs. That's the whole key, is spend a lot less than what your income is that's coming in. And hopefully the vast majority of your income is coming in from investments. So it's not even dependent on your work. So kind of like your work income is like gravy on top of all that. I think that's when you can declare success. And it's all going to depend, of course, on your lifestyle and your expenses and all of that. I mean, some people can get by on less because they're more conservative as far as their their expenses, their lifestyle. I mean, Michael Jackson, right? He was making all kinds of money and making money hand over fist and so on and so forth. And he still had terrible financial problems when he died at like 50 years old or whatever he was, because he was spending money like a drunken sailor, right? Actually, that's an insult to the drunken sailors. He was spending it even worse than they would. So it's not your income that is the most important thing. It's your outgo, right? It's the percentage of your outgo to your income. If your outgo is only 25% of your income, you're probably going to build wealth over time. That's all I'm saying. Let's see here. Craig, what would Indiana Jones put on his signet ring? Good point. Did he wear a signet ring in the movie? Did he wear it at all when he was in like being a professor? I didn't notice if he had any rings on. My first watch was a tiny Tudor Prince my father bought me. Eventually, I took my father's day date from his drawer while he was having an affair. He never got it back. I had the power over him. Well, there you go. Leverage. Our wags in the house. Now the government has mandated that I receive $4,000 a month in Social Security. Oh, the humanity. If you still have a Roth, if you can do backdoor Roth and you can contribute forever. That's what's cool about a Roth is you don't have to take money out at a certain point and you can keep putting money in, unlike a normal IRA. Doesn't work that way, right? So that's something to think about. Yeah. That's the way to get over on the man. Keep growing your wealth and not have to pay taxes on that growth. Sent 2 watches. Lance the man. Do you know that I think, isn't it Bezos that it wasn't Bezos, some other billionaire. Somebody has like a couple of $1 billion in their Roth IRA. I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that they did that. They put some kind of stock in there or something. Was it Amazon stock? I don't know. Anyway, they did it. They wrangled away to end up with like a couple of $1 billion in their Roth IRA that's like growth, that's like tax-free. Craig, would you buy a Tudor Prince if it was on sale at the pawn shop for $400? I'd have to see it, and if I thought I could flip it and make some money, I wouldn't be above that. I wouldn't be above that. All right, let me check the email. Okay, there we go. There's the Rolex. It looks like that's a 3/4 size. Oh, it says it's a 36 mil. That's interesting. It looks smaller than that, but it says it's a 36 mil. Okay, I'll take their word for it. It's a 1996. It looks like that's a steel bezel. And that is the Swiss bracelet, because see how it's flat on the inside? That's how you can tell. Beautiful. Those are beautiful watches. I mean, look at the case design. It is in great condition. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And it's at a make offer. It's a $63.99 or make offer. Those are cool watches. I just think they're cool. Oh, he sent 2 in. Let's check the other one. And here's the other watch. That is an unusual looking piece. I guess the crown is unscrewed. It's interesting. It's interesting. The lugs look kind of thick. It's kind of interesting. I kind of like it. And they're not drilled lugs. And look at the crown. Look how unique the crown is. It doesn't have the Rolex on there. Interesting. I would be kind of concerned that there's something wrong with those threads on the screw down crown because it's unscrewed all the time in all these pictures. And it looks like they're kind of smooth. So I wonder. I'm wondering. But I'll tell you, I had a bubble back that I sold to my friend, Paul Faupel. But I'll tell you, that is a heck of a price. I guess, is it 14 karat gold? Oh, it's a 32 mil. 14 karat gold, yeah. 14 karat gold buckle is original to the watch. Movement's original, dial's original, but has been beautifully refinished. I think it's interesting. I'd be kind of scared, though, that something like that would not be reliable to wear. And I only buy the watches to wear, so I don't know. The guy that founded PayPal has over $5 billion in his Roth IRA. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah. I just started putting 15% of my income in a Roth in addition to my standard employment right, which is total of 17% into 401. I'm thinking I probably need to up the 15 to 20. Well, there are limits. You can only put so much in each year. So I would max it. Yeah. Peter Thiel put 2,000 of PayPal stock in his Roth IRA. It's now valued at $5 billion. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. It's hilarious. The politicians are outraged and want to put value limits on Roth IRA. Yeah, I mean, the Roth IRA is like, it's like the biggest loophole. It is so cool that it even exists. And of course, most people don't even know about it and don't utilize it. Craig, I've been watching a lot of videos on the Toyota Century. This is the car for you. Next year, you can import the V12 model from Japan. They can be had for a steal. Yeah, they're all right, Triforce Rich. I've seen them, but I think that Lexus LS sedan is still the way to go. I think that it's hard to beat a Lexus LS sedan, and you can get them for a good deal still. Hire Lance as an intern to drive you around. Some even have a GS clocks built in. Yeah, I hear you. That is kind of cool, though. Mr. Stifle, you are a smart man with your retirement contributions. Yes, he's nobody's dummy. All right, well, I think we're gonna wrap this puppy up. I think we've kind of nailed it here. I'm almost out of H2O, and Der Stifle says, all right, thanks. I got to do what I can so I don't have to be 90 by the time I retire. LOL. Look, well, here's the thing. If what you're doing you enjoy, then you don't ever have to retire. That's the cool thing about it. Is just make sure whatever it is that you're doing to earn a living and sustain yourself and so forth that you enjoy, then there's no reason to quote retire. Kyle's in the house, but Craig, the LS is ugly though now. Yeah, I wouldn't get the new ones. I'd get an LS 460 would be the last one I would get, the LS 460. I really like the LS 430 myself. I like them both. But yeah, the LS 460, if you want a little more modern conveniences like the Bluetooth connectivity and all that kind of stuff, I think you got to go to the LS 460. And that was still a very good looking car. And you can find those, a little old lady car with low mileage. You can find the LS 460. Even in today's market, you can probably get a deal on them because nobody wants them and nobody even knows that they are out there. It's weird that people are clueless on those cars. Okay, get the Lexus LS then. We got to get you out of that Prius. You preach getting the best. Hey, the Prius is the best all-around small utility vehicle. It is the best. Its reputation is stellar. I mean, it's just like bulletproof. Made in Japan. Mine was, since it's a 2004 model, was virtually handmade in Japan. And they're just absolutely amazing cars. Very quiet, very comfortable. I'm gonna open up a CraigShip sub store and turn it into a franchise. They'll be the best submarine sandwiches around. I'll have to buy out Hoffman's. Hoffman's is for sale. The place is for sale. It is for sale. And sadly, no one can get a good deal on them anymore. The LSs, I think the LSs can still be had for pretty good deals. Now, it's all relative, right? I mean, better deals than most. I'll put it that way. The way they're printing USD, everything's going to get more expensive. Let's just wrap our head around that right now, right? Everything's going to get more expensive. It's just that some things are going to get more expensive than others. Some things are going to go up in price at a more rapid pace. Our Wags is in the house. As Warren Buffett says, 70% of my wealth happened after he was 65 years old, and most people are retired. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. You get to the point where you, like you said, you reach critical mass where your money is earning money, and everything starts snowballing. And it's really kind of cool when that happens. A better than most is accurate, but it's not like it was 2 to 3 years ago when it was a bargain. Okay, got you. Yeah. Craig, we have lots to talk about. We can't end. Yeah, but I'm hungry, and I start getting mean when I get hungry, and we've done a pretty good job addressing the situation. The situation was the situation that we addressed with the Facebook page. Let me pull this up again. The situation that we had was, and this is a wrap up here. Thanks, R Wags. I will try to have a nice dinner. The situation that we had was we had a number of Facebook groups, watch community groups out there that were actively promoting ugly watches and getting people to buy ugly watches and getting some people to even wear them, to actually go out in public and wear ugly watches. So what we've done with this exclusive group that we've created on Facebook, Only Stunning Watches, is we've created a very exclusive place where people who are discerning in what they wear, who don't wear junk, and who wear stunning watches, a group where they can come together and share their experiences with their stunning watches. And so it's sort of like a refuge from the masses that are out there just buying anything that they think will impress the other people on Facebook. It's like they're all in hamster wheels, right? They're all trying to impress each other with these watches, and the problem is most of them are making bad choices. They're buying ugly watches, and so we're going to try to help with that. Would probably help a very exclusive clientele, very small number of people, but hey, if you can just help, if you can in this life, if you can help one person, that's a big deal, right? So Durr's in the house. This will be the last comment. For those of us with stocks, do you automatically reinvest your dividends or cash them out? I don't need the dividends to live off of, so I'm thinking it would be best to automatically reinvest. Yeah, reinvest everything. Yes. And RWAG says the same thing. Probably best to reinvest with most stocks. Okay, there you go. You got winners. You got like Apple stock or whatever. You pick the winners. I mean, just hang in there with them. You're good to go. I should have never sold any of my Apple stock. I still kept some, but I should have just kept it forever. But oh well. We'll see what happens. By the way, Bitcoin had dumped the other day, and then I talked about how I was going to buy it if it went down to 26, and then it started pumping again. I should have never said anything. I wanted it to dump down to 26,000, and I was going to buy like 3 more Bitcoin live on the show. But now it went back up over 30,000 again. So I don't know if it's going to dip down there or not. We'll see what happens. Kyle says, I reinvest, but I don't have many with dividends anyway. Okay. Apple has some dividends. Okay. Good call, guys. There you go. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. We're going to let it go, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and do join the Facebook group. The link is in the description. Do join the group.